Hello and welcome to my tutorial where I show you how to play Hoist for Sale, the first piece from my pirate music book. So here's how it sounds. So what do you think? I quite like it. If you want to get it yourself, click the link in the description below and join in on this tutorial where I show you how to play every single part of this piece. Let's get going. Okay, so what's the first thing you should look out for before starting to play any piece of music? Well, it's these things here, the flats. There are three of them in this piece: B flat, E flat, and A flat. So if you ever come across those, make sure to swap them out for their respective flats, or black notes in this case. The next thing we need to look out for is the time signature. This piece is in 6/8, which means there are 6 quavers in every bar. That can sometimes be a little bit weird to think about, but if we just have a look at this bar over here, we can see literally 6 quavers in the bar. So every single quaver is one count. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I play that bar, it sounds like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Now, quavers are often thought as half beats, but in this case, they're not. They're counts of 1. Therefore, everything else is doubled. So like crotchets, they're worth 2, minims, they're worth 4, dotted minims, they're worth 3. It's all very confusing, but I'm sure you're going to get it very shortly. So let's jump into the piece. It's really only those 2 main things that you need to look out for now. It's the flats and the time signature. So this piece is split up into 4 sections: A, B, C, and D. A and B on the first page, and C and D on the second page. I'm going to go through in sections so that we can say, right, we're going to master this area first, and then only when that's mastered will we move on. So, section A is from here to here, and we're actually only going to focus on, just for the moment, bars 1 and 2. So, start with the right hand, thumb on middle C, goes like this. You want to make sure that this run of notes here is nice and smooth. Then we have a nice and bouncy staccato note just there, and we get the rhythm from every other bit of note information within there. So the crotchet is worth 2 beats, we know that. The quaver is worth 1, so that's just beat 3. So we've got beats 1 and 2 here, then beat 3 is that note there. 1, 2, 3. Then the rest of the quavers in bar 1, these ones here, they are 4, 5, and 6. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then all of these notes going down here, they're also quavers, so they're just going 1, 2, 3, 4. We're into a brand new bar, so the counting is nice and easy. So here we go. If I count out loud and play the right hand at the same time, it sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Simple as that. Now, the left hand are these really low notes down here using finger 5, which is your little finger, and your thumb. So little finger's going on C, thumb's on G, and they're holding down for the entirety of those 2 bars because of the tied symbols we see arcing above. Now this has become a massive mess, let me rub it out. Okay, so that left hand's holding down the entire way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, while the right hand plays in those bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the left hand holds down even after you've come off that bouncy last note. Lovely. So, perfect that, then move on to bars 3 and 4. Bars 3 and 4, just here, go like this. So the left hand's all but exactly the same as bars 1 and 2. You're still holding down a C and a G until the last beat of the last bar where we go for a B flat. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in fact, on that B flat, it's got a dot and an accent. So it's going to be loud and bouncy at the same time, as much as you can anyway. Ugh. Got to try and stab it with your 4 fingers. It's a bit of a challenge. Anyways, the right hand actually continues the same pattern we had in bar 1, just an octave higher, which is nice. Moving our hand up so our thumb is on C, we have that rhythm back, but just higher up. And then in bar 4 of that line, we've got the dotted crotchet and the quaver. So the dotted crotchet is worth 3. Remember, we're in 6/8, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then the quaver is worth 1. So that's just on beat 4, nice and sudden, because of that staccato right there. So if I play the right hand, just on its own, sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And both hands together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Left hand suddenly just jumping in there. Okay, so let's play the entirety of line 1, making sure that that jump from the right hand, from the middle C to the octave above, is as smooth as possible within the space of the rest, just there. Okay, so both hands together sounds like this. Just like that. Make it smooth as possible, get it confident, and then move on to the second line. Now the second line, which is the second half of section A, right here, well, I'm going to treat it as a brand new set of bars. I'm going to still call it bars 1, 2, 3, and 4, just off the second line. Makes it a little bit easier when we get later in the piece and we end up with 20s and 21s. It's just all too much. So, first 2 bars of the second line are exactly the same as the first 2 bars of the piece, which makes life very easy. And then, if we just take, oh, that was completely wrong. If we just take these bars over here, you can see the right hand and the left hand are actually matching the exact same note. So here we go. The right hand starts on an E flat. Be careful, watch out for them. E flat with the 3rd finger, running down the notes to C. Then you can see we've got a 2nd finger mentioned there. So running down to the C, 2nd finger over the top, B flat, C, B flat, C. And again, a staccato note just here. So you want to make sure that when you do the crossover, it's as smooth as possible. Again, and all of those are quavers, so you're just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And as the crotchet's dotted with a staccato, I wouldn't hold it down for any more than the beat of a quaver in any case. And then right at the end of the line, we've got C and E flat, so our hand's going to have to jump back down an octave to play those. Right, let me rub out what I've just done to the right hand, and if we look at the left hand, we can see we're starting on an E flat as well. It's just 2 octaves below what the right hand did. So, thumb on E flat, feels a little bit weird, but make sure your fingers are high enough up the keys that you're not doing any weird twisting motions. So, E flat, D, C, B flat, C, B flat, C. And because it's the left hand, we don't have any weird finger movements to do. It's going in the direction where we got more fingers. Make sure that last note's bouncy, and then we go down to this chord that we had before at the start of the piece. Nice and suddenly powerful. And that lasts 3 beats, dotted crotchet. So if I just play that together, it sounds like this. And it really helps to count there because there is a little bit of a gap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see how that works? Okay, so let's just play the entirety of a second line. It just goes like this. Nice and easy. Okay, so when you're really happy with that second line, join it to the first line so that this part, this connection here, becomes as smooth as possible. I don't want to be able to hear, or listeners don't want to be able to hear, whether or not there's a line change or whether there's a bar change. It should be continuously flowing, irrelevant of whether you're reading different places on the page. Okay, so let's get to section B. Now, section B is fairly easy, I think, compared to section A. The right hand stays in one place, so we don't have to worry about that too much, and the left hand's using similar patterns to what we've seen before, but I want to draw your attention to a few things here. We've got a little tied note going across here, but if you notice, we don't have one going over the top. Now that means that the bottom note, the little finger, holds down while the thumb does its own thing. So if we have a look at it, we've got F tied all the way across from here to here, and then the C is on its own, C is on its own, B flat is on its own. None of that is tied. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we have the same thing down here, where you've got the A flat on its own, sorry, the E flat on its own, E flat, and then B flat. And in fact, we see that the A flat here drops out, so it's just the B flat entirely on its own when we get there. So let me rub that out and play it for you. We've got A flat and E flat in that fourth line of a piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we release both the E flat and the A flat when we get to the B flat, just there. Okay, so let's have a quick focus of the right hand. I won't go into detail about what the notes are. I'm pretty sure you should be able to figure those out not too badly. Just watch out for any E. It is an E flat. And just think about your timing. So here we go. I'll play the first line of section B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure to hold down that C all the way to the end of the line, and make sure that you're counting the correct beats 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in that gap there. So the crotchet is 2, the quaver is 1, and the dotted crotchet after that is 3 being tied into the next bar. We pretty much have the same thing in the second line of section B. Sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All but well, it is exactly the same. But in the third bar of the fourth line, we're going to rise instead of go down. E flat, F, G, same rhythm though. And now in beats 5 and 6 of the last bar, we've got our thumb on C and our second finger going over the top to hit the B flat. Like so. So if I was to play the whole line, it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Really quickly, really rapidly down to the B flat. Cool. So that is the first page in its entirety. Just make sure each line goes smoothly, make sure each bar goes smoothly, and get it to around, let's say 70 to 80% confidence before you move on to the next part. There's no point moving on without perfecting what you've already learned. So page 2, section C. The right hand's back to thumb being on C, and we've occasionally got to watch out for the concept of the B flat. So if we just take this line here, the right hand goes like this. And you can see I'm sort of counting, I'm trying to get those notes absolutely perfect, because there's no point practicing something without getting every part as close to perfect as it can be straight away. Doesn't have to be fast, just has to be accurate, so you don't have to put in extra work later. So, what happened there? We had thumb on C. Then when we get to this B here, we've got to go to thumb to B flat, which is again weird, just shuffle your hand slightly up the keys. Which means our second finger sort of arrives onto the C for the next bar, bar 3 of section C, which leaves us in the correct place for the rest of that line. Moving on to the second line, I realise I haven't looked at the left hand yet, but I want to keep on this right hand. Our hand is still with our second finger on C, 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 D, E flat, and then we've got a D and a B flat again with our thumb, before we do a massive jump up just here to get to the G. So we've got B flat with our thumb up very suddenly to the G. It's sometimes worth just practicing doing that jump until you don't have to look at your fingers. Apparently I have to look, but you know, if you can keep on doing that to the point where your hand gets you 95% of the way there, then you just do a quick glance to make sure you get it correct before you keep on moving. Okay, so the left hand is all dotted minims, which means they're holding on for the entirety of each bar every time the chord plays, and there are no ties in there either. So let's look at chord 1 over here. We've got chord 2, 3, and 4, and they all but repeat. You can see this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. It's just this one that changes. We call that chord 5. So chord 1 is A flat and E flat. Make sure to have those fingers on those flats. Then we've got B flat and F. There's a little bit of a twisting motion unless you want your fingers slightly higher at the keys. Then chord 3, C and G. So basically we're just walking up the scale at the moment. So A flat and E flat, B flat and F, C and G. Drop down an octave for chord 4. Back to what we had like at the start of the first page. Back to chord 1, chord 2, chord 3, and chord 5. Actually, I'm completely wrong. Chord 5 is just chord 2. That's not so bad, is it? Okay, so both hands together sound like this. I won't go too into detail with it. Just think the left hand lines up with the first note of every single bar in the right hand. Sounds like this. Nice. Okay, we're on to section D already. Fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to group some of the bars in section D. If I do this, you might notice that the first two bars of every single line are exactly the same. That makes it easy, doesn't it? The right hand's the same, the left hand's the same. There are no difficulties there. So if we were to play them, oh, I tell you what, they're actually exactly the same as the ones up here as well. I'm a lazy writer, but it makes sense. It fits in, it works well in the song. So if you can play the first two bars of section C, then you'll have no problem playing half of section D. So I'm not even going to cover that. It just sounds like this. Okay, but you do have to watch out for these lines down here. Those lines are pedal markings. It means to hold down the pedal for 3 bars. You can see it lasts entirely from here to here, here to here, where you put it down and then lift it up. So if I was to play this line on its own, without the pedal, it sounds like this. Not bad, not very atmospheric though. With the pedal, it's just got this feeling now. It's just a little bit more energy behind all of it. So watch out for that. Make sure to utilize the pedal only when it's necessary. So if we just focus on the right hand for a moment, going from these bars here, let's get rid of this. So the right hand just jumps up an octave from the B flat that it was at before, just over here. And it goes to second finger on B flat and repeats it against the C. Repeats that for 2 bars. Meanwhile, the left hand joins in over here with some more B flats and Cs of its own. Just try and make it as smooth as possible when you get there. I keep saying that, but it's true. On top of that, we've got a few different things to watch out for. Throughout this whole piece, we've had forte, F, loud. The whole piece is loud, literally up until the point we get over here, where we've got P, MP. P means quiet, so it's suddenly going to drop down from here to here, being loud, into this bar being quiet, into this bar being MP, which is moderately quiet. So loud, down to quiet, and then moderately quiet. So make sure to emphasize that when you play. See how it really dropped back for those high notes. We've got the same repetition over here in the second line. We've got the same notes here, of course, and this bit is a lot easier than you might think. The notes in the right hand are just an octave higher than what we had up here. So it's still B flat and C, just an octave higher. Left hand doesn't follow suit, but it's worth knowing that the right hand has to make a bigger jump. So if I play just line 2 there, it goes like this. A little bit more interest, it's more decorative when it gets higher up. So that's the second line of section D. And finally, the last line, if we just highlight that, first 2 bars are the same, we know that. To play the whole thing, it sounds like this. Now, if we just double check what's going on in the last 2 bars, we've got a C in the right hand, still on the second finger from before, and the left hand's jump back down to that original C and G that we had at the start of the piece. Followed up by the C and G again, but accented and staccato, while the right hand plays a couple of Cs an octave apart, high up. Again, accented and staccato. You want to make it sudden and as punchy as you can. So, that is Hoist for Sale. That's the entire piece from start to finish. You don't have to learn it all at once. I would recommend learning it in sections. A, then B, then C, then D. And within those sections, I would learn it 2 bars at a time. Do 2 bars, get confident until you're 70-75% sure, then do the next 2 bars, then join them together, then the next 2 bars, then join them together. if you think about it, if you don't have a lot of time to do this sort of stuff, you can spend, let's say you've got 10 minutes to practice every single day. If you spend 10 minutes on 2 bars, you're probably going to become quite good at those 2 bars. In 1 week, that's 14 bars worth of practice, and that gets us all the way down to here. In 1 week, you can get through most of, like 90% of the first page. And within 2 weeks, I mean, as we said, all of this is the same. So within 2 weeks, you should be able to get this piece down pretty well, no matter sort of what skill level you're at, so long as you can sort of put both hands together, read a few notes, and be aware of flats and timing at the same time. So if you want to get hold of this music, just click the link in the description below and you'll be able to find this piece along with 14 other pirate pieces from my new book, which hopefully should be out as a physical copy very, very soon. So like this video if you thought it was good, comment if you need any extra help or you just want to say something else, just go for it, and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any tutorials, any music theory, or any new pieces that might arrive in the future. In any case, stay motivated, keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.